So, welcome to my tutorial on TypeScript. I just wanted to give a quick tutorial on TypeScript and why I've been using it and how I've been using it and why I've enjoyed it. To start off, I'm using WebStorm as my editor. You could use Sublime or Visual Studio. You'll actually need to go ahead and install Node first if you're not familiar with Node. We're not going to be programming in Node, but the TypeScript is going ahead and use it to go ahead and compile down to some of the different JavaScript versions. So you can just go to nodejs.org. Once you go ahead and install that in WebStorm, you go to File, Settings, and then you would go to Node.js and npm, and make sure that you have the location for the node.exe. I obviously have a lot more in here. Gulp is great. Like I said, if you're not going to be programming in Node, npm is great, and you can use a lot of these for bundling your packages in your front end. And maybe I'll do tutorials on Gulp or Breeze at another time. But let's go back and let's I guess kind of start with an overview of kind of JavaScript and maybe what you're used to and how you've organized your files. And I think everyone's kind of had something like this at some point, and it may have been mixed in with jQuery or not mixed in with jQuery, just a lot of spaghetti functions just all over the place, and it's hard to keep track of. They're all at the same level, and you're trying to track between some of the different things, and you might have implemented or tried something like this to make a little more sense, and you probably have brought in a third-party framework as well to kind of bind and make a little bit more sense. But you've probably seen something along these lines or been exposed to something along those lines, and you probably got a little bit more modular, and you would have been using some closures. Let's do something like this. New method. Let's just do an empty method there. And so you're probably familiar. Like I said, you've probably seen one of these type of approaches in one way or another. And there's no right or wrong way to do it, and there's lots of different ways to organize your JavaScript, and you've probably been exposed to some of them and have enjoyed it or not enjoyed it. And today I just kind of wanted to talk about TypeScript, why I really liked it and how I think it can help out, and kind of go from there. So TypeScript is Microsoft technology that allows you to go ahead and write JavaScript, and it will compile down to ES5 or ES6. ES5 is JavaScript. ECMAScript is the official name. ECMAScript 6 is signed and ratified, but isn't used by all the different browsers yet, so you can't really get all the benefits of it. You could use Babel.js, which is popular, to go ahead and get a lot of the functionality of ES6. But why I like TypeScript is it allows you to have strict typing. So instead of typing out your JavaScript and running it and having to debug it in the console, or using some of Chrome's debugger tools, or just waiting to see what errors show up, you can get some of those errors before, and you can organize your code well. You can go ahead and compile down to ECMAScript 5 or ECMAScript 6 once that's available and readily available, so you can take advantage of those new features without having to rewrite all your JavaScript. So let's kind of take a look at a couple things. Maybe we'll say we wanted to extend and write some string functions that people could use. Now, some of the elements in say ECMAScript 5 aren't going to be supported everything. We're getting static in ECMAScript 6, and so that's something that we can use or not use because it's not going to make much difference, but we can still organize our code however we want, and then once some of those features are available, then we'll go ahead and take advantage of them. Let's just throw let's just go ahead and throw a constructor in here. And we can go ahead and set this as to message. So, and once we're done with this class, we can, one of the great features that I really like is, besides being able to implement it, if you want to do kind of like a static implementation or do a new instance, you can extend the class and do a child element implementation, and that's going to allow you to kind of overwrite a lot of methods that you might be wanting to. A great example would, maybe you have a helper class for some other UI framework where you're having to write a lot of JavaScript to support it, and you use this in a lot of places, but every place has a little bit of custom implementation, and you just don't want to copy and paste code everywhere. Writing a class like this is a good example of how you could go ahead and accomplish that and be able to override the methods that you want. So let's just say we wanted to do, just say the permutations of a string. We'll pass in a string. We're not gonna, let's not return anything for now. We'll just return void because we'll print it all out as we go ahead and go along. So let's see here. Like I said, you can already see it helps to kind of keep you on track about what you have and what you don't have. So let's just go ahead and split this to start off with. So I'll write this, and this could go ahead and be used anywhere. The other great thing about TypeScript is IntelliSense is going to be used once you write this class, and so whenever anyone's calling it, they can see what they need to use and what's available to use, and it will have the parameters and what type of parameters it's expecting to get. So that's nice. We're gonna do this recursively, so then just admin extra. You can already see, as I'm typing out this, that I'm getting some errors in there. We'll go ahead and debug all this here in a little bit because it will keep track of us. But is equal less than length. Increase that. Rest will be the object create R. We're going to need I'll pick the ones that we have here. And we'll splice this one. Like I said, for this one, we're going to go ahead and use recursion, but let's see, I just did perm, right? I'll join that back in as we call that. And hopefully through looking through this, you'll kind of get an idea of what JavaScript can do, and what TypeScript can do, and why you'd want to use it, and how it can help out there. And let's see, well, it's going to be less than that. So we're almost done here. We're going to want and of course this could be anything else, any kind of implementation that you wanted to use. Okay, and we got to return. I'm going to kick that array back out. Okay, so we've gone through. We've implemented a couple things. We're at a place where we can go ahead and normally we start running this and wait to see the console. I can already see. We've got some problems in there, so let's go ahead and start taking a look at some, fixing that, debugging it, and it's nice, it's already letting us know aware of it. So to start off, you can see the red, we can hover over some of these elements. I did get an extra thing in there, that's gonna cause some problems in there. Okay. Going through, check a new line of semicolon. Oh, it's instantiating that. So that should fix that. Okay, we've got our module and our class. Everything missing there. Let's go through and make sure we got all our things lined up. That will be helpful. Looking through it. I'm going to cut her out down here. That's looking a lot better. So once we do that, we get some next errors. So we're going to call this stop_perm. And then we come here, we want to return perms, set to a variable that, go through, yeah, we're returning, I think we'll end up actually returning this because we're doing recursion, we've got to return something to go through everything. So now we can return a string. We can go our different way. I want to push my next. Okay, so we've kind of gone through and fixed that. We've had a lot of helping there instead of, like I said, running through and running into those issues along the way. And we had talked about using this, creating a subclass. So why don't we just go ahead and create a subclass in this real quickly. We'll extend my string we did. So obviously, if we're in this subclass, we probably wouldn't write it in here. We'd write it on the page that we were actually implementing it on. But we'll go ahead and do this just for kicks and giggles. Oh, I don't want my string, we want sub. So we're going to go ahead and implement that. I got an error. We gotta export that. Starting from the parent, so we just gotta put some kind of string in there because we wrote the constructor on the top to go ahead and take a message. And that's going to go ahead and clear everything out. So we've got that. That should return an array. Let's go ahead and let's console.log that's my object. Oops. Well, it's just our object. My array is equal to my object dot perm. There it is. And let's do Brent. Let's see what we get. I'm just going to use this terminal. Go ahead and run. Run that in Node. There we go. So it printed out all our permutations. Of course, wherever we wrote this class, if we wanted to overwrite perm, we could go ahead and do that. And let's just say, for the sake of ending this long tutorial, we were just going to do a console.log I am overridden. Because we just wanted to go ahead and change that implementation so that we had a different type of implementation that we wanted. And I'll take print out there and notice right out. My string, we're just going to go ahead and print whatever we get sent directly into there. So let's go through and open up a terminal. And we will go ahead and do that. And you see we've got Brent written out there. So overrode that and take out this my array, because in this case we're not actually returning anything, so this could be void. But there you go. There's a quick and easy implementation. See kind of how that's used and how that could be helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully be able to put together some more. And I hope you spend some more time and enjoying TypeScript. All right, thanks.